I never get tired of that song. That's some fucking gas right there. Just like this podcast. Welcome back to Cinestro Core. It's your boy Blacksby, and today we got a lot of hater shit going on here. A lot of hater-nator shit going on here. We're talking about several things. We're gonna get right into it, starting at the very top. Terminator, the anime. What's that little sound?
Let's preface this by saying that AZ is a notorious cartoon lover, and even he has negative feelings about this. You and Gerardo both watched this show. I think Gerardo, I think he watched it all the way through as well. So just lay it on us, bro. Get that shit off your chest and just let us know what you think, because you like anime. So
yeah. I like the cartoons. I'm not afraid to say it.
You should.
I like the cartoons. You know, I like when the funny pictures on my screen go burr. You know, it makes my brain feel good. What can I say? This is a step that was taken. I don't know if it's in the right direction for the Terminator medium, but it is decent at best. At worst, it's just schlocky. In my opinion, it does raise interesting themes in the Terminator narrative, such as like the futility of the whole Skynet versus humanity conflict, how it's just a clusterfuck of timelines and they're repeatedly doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. It raises interesting perspectives on human nature, what it means to be human, what the concept of fate is, and all of this stuff. However, it doesn't do it well. It kind of has like all these really interesting ideas that aren't necessarily presented in the show until the latter half. Like the last, they're half baked. They're not there until like the last 4 episodes, and that by that point, like half the season's already gone. It doesn't really feel like it has any substance. It kind of just says the same like fence city type of answers. It doesn't really say anything new or provocative. And I'm not, asking for an anime to tell me the secrets of the universe. That's fucking impossible, right? I'm not asking for that. But to do something like transformative, at least with that question or that premise, would have been nice. You have shows like Attack on Titan who have done it for 4 seasons and managed to flesh out and accomplish that. But then I'd give an even shorter example. You have a show like Parasite the Maxim, which goes into like the nature of survivability, human nature, and adaptability to certain species, and what it means to be alive, and so on and so forth, and the nature of sentience. And it has all these great ideas that within the, I believe, 12 or so episodes, it really manages to flesh out. And I think a lot of this feels very kind of rushed, like super condensed. It doesn't feel like it had enough time to cook. And a lot of the time that it uses where it should be cooking feels like padding. In a sense, it kind of just repeats the same thing over and over again. And none of the characters are necessarily like super grabbing or engaging. Like there's 3 kids that are present in it. I found them annoying. Quite frankly, I really did. I tried to like them, but at certain points I was like, yo, if this Terminator doesn't come through the wall and kill them, I will. Like I'm getting fucking frustrated. It's too much.
You tried liking the kids, you fucking sicko.
Hey man, what can I say? Hey, whoa! I want to get
Drake. You on your Drake?
I want to get something right here. All right, I may be a YouTuber, but I am not a pedophile, and I stand by it.
Dr. Disrespect School of Gaming,
but
School of YouTube.
But it's just all in all, it is a show that tries to do something new and something different, and it's a interesting first step, but a successful one. I really wouldn't say. The whole plot just revolves around one of the many dick measuring contests between Skynet and humanity.
I was gonna
where
ask, does it take place in the future?
Yeah. So it's a different timeline entirely. So you can disregard almost every single one.
No John Connor, no.
Yeah, no John Connor, none of that. No, just clean slate. Literally zero, like it says.
So it's ass.
I mean, which to be fair, if you're thinking about the Terminator like IP as a whole, would seem like the right step to make, right? Because it's like we've seen John Connor, we've seen his story, we've seen the Sarah Connor stuff. It's like we've got shows, we've got countless movies, all to varying degrees of success. It's like it feels like that. Much like how Star Wars has run its course with the Skywalker saga, it feels like Terminator and the
treaded ground,
treaded ground. So then being like, okay, it's an alternate universe, it's a different timeline. Seems like that would give you a lot. It would be the birth for like a lot of new, fresh, interesting ideas set in this world, and it's animation, so you can achieve a lot more. You can do a lot more. You're not as limited because of like, you know, having to use CGI or you know, it's not live action, and that presents a lot of practical kind of like logistical issues when trying to tell a story. So you would think, boom, animated Terminator series set in the future in an alternate timeline where it's not constrained by the lore that's been established in the movies and shows. What else would you want? And it seems like they were just like, I have this idea, Terminator anime, and they're like, that seems cool, and then didn't really, and then we're kind of having trouble establishing like a coherent or interesting enough plot or story that they wanted to tell.
Right, and
I'm gonna throw my quick counter to that. Also, I don't know if it's really a counter. It's just my own soapbox on the whole Terminator universe. Animation is a fantastic medium to tell stories like Terminator. As you've seen all the like the comic book stuff, there's so much you can do in animation. The problem with Terminator is that they've tried the same story. I think it's 4 times now, 5 times now.
Just about, yeah.
It has only worked twice. The first Terminator and Judgment Day. Everything past that has been like
boo-boo dog shit.
Either mediocre but watchable or like absolute ass. And I think the only one that's been watchable is Salvation. If we're being fair to that film. So then coming from
Salvation's dog shit.
Salvation's ass. Rise of the Machines is good.
I'd watch Salvation over Genesis. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
So, you know, you have this universe that doesn't feel like it's not getting the same juice like how Alien has this resurgence this year with Romulus, and how Top Gun had its resurgence with Maverick and all that. So animation should be like this new breath of fresh air. The problem is they're gonna fall back into the and disclaimer, I haven't seen it yet. I probably won't see it because I don't feel like it anymore. I lost it. AZ told me it's shit not good, so I don't care. I got 57 anime I gotta watch. I'm wearing some Demon Slayer shit right now. So yeah, I feel like they have this issue with that franchise just being so convoluted and so hit or miss, more so on the miss, that what else can they do besides try and rehash the story? Yeah, it's a different universe, different timeline, but that doesn't avoid the mistakes that they made in the past.
Yeah,
Genesis and Dark Fate are 2 different timelines from the original Terminator, and they still fuck up, you know. So it's like, how do they do moving forward?
I genuinely don't understand. Like for instance, The Matrix is another sci-fi story, which is the whole concept of like the future and machines take over and all that.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's handled better in The Matrix with that presence and not how the machines are. Like, they do so many things better. For instance, giving the machines just like the slightest bit of humanity, so there's that resonance with them, like with Hugo Weaving's performance as Agent Smith, you know, as opposed to Terminator, which is like, we're going to give human-esque qualities to the machines, but when they give them to Arnie, it just feels campy and gross and just half-baked and stupid.
But that's part of the appeal, I think, of the first... I think it has a lot to do with the filmmaker. I think James Cameron is just so good at what he does. It's hard for him to make make a bad movie. So I think even despite I think Arnold is great in these movies. Honestly, I think
Yeah,
I think he's good at what for what those movies are. But I think it's about. I don't know. It seems like it would be such an easy world to tell a cool or interesting story.
Right.
It's robots against humans. And it's like these small pockets of humanity trying to survive at this overpowered, overcommanding force that is the machines, right? And it's like, that seems like that would be... There's something there, right? And for some reason, they're having trouble...
The problem is that it was there, and now they just keep rehashing the same thing. This story's been told.
Yeah,
I don't think Terminator needs a revival.
What's the story of this one?
That's what I'm saying. What's
the anime?
Okay, so the story of this one is that there's a guy. His name is Malcolm Lee. He lives in Tokyo, Japan, with their nanny, and his wife dies. And so, when the wife dies, he's like a Tony Stark.
Anime, so it's got to be based in Japan.
Yeah.
like the Marvel anime in Japan too.
So, you know what? This is gonna be ass backwards. I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it. So spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen it. But basically, Malcolm Lee. So basically, Malcolm Lee is this guy. He's from the year like 2048 or 2055 or whatever the fuck, and he traveled back in time. And this takes place in one of those branch timelines that he created, trying to stop Skynet. So what he did was he went all the way to 1987, 10 years before Judgment Day in 97, so that he could create some sort of an AI evolved that could, essentially reprogram or defend humanity from Skynet, named Kokoro. And he bases it off of the person who was like,
with AI.
yeah. Oh, by the way, remember in the group chat when I texted, if the nanny turns out to be a Terminator, I will fucking kill myself. I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost, by the way. I just want to mention that. I'm hanging back there somewhere. That shit, I called that from a mile away. Turns out the nanny is actually
it's him trying to
to stop Skynet. But also there is a soldier that was sent back in time who turns out to be Malcolm Lee's mom, and it's just like
fucking
it's Japanese.
It's so much.
It's John Connor.
Basically, also Sarah Connor's in this. Oh fuck, I forgot to mention that. Sarah Connor's fucking in this. For some fucking reason, they don't mention that it's her, but like when you look at her, you're like, oh yeah, that's Sarah Connor. So she's in the future. She's like this oracle lady that's like, the prophecy that humanity, they keep sending soldiers back, and this is some bullshit. Honestly, everyone's tired of these movies. I'm old and decrepit. I'm Sarah Connor. And that's her whole thing. That's all she does, right? And she's like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know who I am? Cool. All right,
so they
get on.
Wars: The Force Awakens.
They Star Wars: The Force Awakens it, and it's just like it gets to a point to where you try so hard to care about anyone or anything. One of the actual lines of dialogue in the show, I shit you not, is when the two boys are separated with the nanny from the little girl and the resistance fighter who's Malcolm's mom. So I guess their grandma.
Yeah.
When they're separated on opposite sides of Japan, he's like, I know where our sister went. She went to that theme park, because if I were my sister, I would think that she would think that we think that she's going to dad, but she wouldn't go to dad because that's not what she thinks. She thinks that we know that she would go to the park. This is actual dialogue. I shit you not. It is phrased exactly like when Matt says the knowers who know. No, it is phrased exactly like that. And I was like, no. That was when I texted in the group chat, I don't know if I can finish this show anymore. Like,
and we thank you for your service. You forced yourself to.
I did it to pad for time, and it was not worth it. I give this honestly a 6 out of 10. It is a step in a direction, not the right one. A bunch of half-baked ideas, but ideas that if they decide to go from somewhere, I'll scroll through Crunchyroll or Netflix in maybe a year or two and see what happened to it. But I don't feel the desire to check in, and I firmly believe that outside of video games, there is no hope for Terminator.
What are your thoughts, Gerardo?
So that does pose the next question I have. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. No, go say what you got to say.
I mean, all I have to say is this show fucking sucks. I don't like anime, so I went in and I was like, fuck it. I went in and I was like, I like One Punch. Maybe this will be kind of good. Fuck it. We'll see. And it wasn't. The writing's ass. The fucking, I don't know how to describe it, but like, when an anime, like everything's over, fucking like the expressions are all.
It's got a hyper realism to it.
Yeah, I don't fuck with that. It's not fun.
Yeah,
it's not cool. This anime sucks. All anime sucks. Fuck you if you like it. Terminator, just let it fucking die. Make comics, make games. No more movies. No more anime for you.
No, I think
no more shows.
That's very interesting. I think like most, I'll let you speak really quick, man. But I'm just gonna say something. I think like most IP, what needs to happen is they need to take a break. Because I think what it is it's an oversaturation, and it's like we've had more good stuff, bad stuff than good. So people are just over it, and we're tired. Let that shit breathe for 5, 10 years, and then bring it back and do something different, something interesting with someone who's competent. And people be like, oh, look, this is fun. Remember when we had good Terminator movies? Look how awesome this is. As opposed to this dumb dog shit. But what were you going to say, Matt?
I was going to say, all it does is pose a question, what's next to the Terminator franchise? How do they move forward? Because they've tried multiple times. They did well with like I said, they did well with Judgment Day. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, it was cool.
I like it.
It was cool.
It's bad.
It's fun. It's
It wasn't
bad,
horrible, but it's watchable horror. It's watchable dog shit. Salvation came out in what 2009, and it was supposed to be
not good.
It was planned to be a new trilogy, and guess what happened? They ain't trilogy no shit there.
Guess what happened? Guess what happens when you cast what the fuck is his name? Sam Worthington.
Worthington.
One of the leads
whoa. Clash of the Titans is cool. Fuck you.
I think Sam Worthington. Sam Worthington gets his props for what's it called? Avatar.
He's so lucky he's in Avatar
because everything else,
he would not have a fucking career.
He'd be homeless.
He's so lucky. Matt Damon said no, thank you, and he got cast because he would not have a fucking career if it weren't for that. He's rich as fuck.
He'd be the epitome of just put the fries in the bag, bro.
Literally, just put the fries in the bag. I was almost
if anything,
just put the fries in the bag, bro.
It's just like knowing that they went from 2 good films to a somewhat mediocre film to another also mediocre film, straight to just ass with Genesis.
And Dark Fate was
okay.
Dark Fate was okay.
Dark Fate was cool okay. It was a Mexican Terminator.
Gabriel Luna.
Even though he doesn't speak Spanish, I forgive him.
Literally, Mexican stealing jobs.
His name is Gabriel Moon.
It was the Rev 9, and the Rev 9 was a cool concept. It kind of combined the OG Terminator and the T-1000 with that liquid skeleton there.
Liquid metal.
The story. At that point, everyone was so tuned out by the point of Dark Fate coming out. So it's just like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah, most people didn't watch it. It's because it's flopped.
Also, weren't Diego Boneta and Isabella Merced brother and sister in that movie? They look nothing alike.
Also, I'm going to be honest. When Dark Fate came out, I did not realize it came out until I booted up Call of Duty. I think it was Black Ops 4, and I had a Dark Fate
The skins.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shit, yeah, that happened. Holy fuck. Almost forgot. Oh, my God.
To answer your question,
I had this. I was like, what the fuck is that?
I think Gerardo and AZ answered it perfectly. I think the best thing is to kind of like let this shit die. Comics would be an interesting way to explore this. Video games, I think the world and the lore lends itself wonderfully to that stuff. But it's like until they can kind of figure out what they want to do with the movies or a show or whatever, they need to kind of hard reset and stop where they're at and just let other mediums explore this.
Terminator versus Aliens, make it happen.
I think what they need to do, like if they really still want to put stuff out, at best, just stop tickling our balls already and give us what we want. You said there's a war in the future. Give us the war. Give us the goddamn war. I'm sick and tired of going back to 1984. I've seen Stranger Things. No. Give us a good one. Okay? Give us a good war. That's what I want. All right? Do it right. It's possible. You can do it. You know those 5 or 6 minutes in Transformers where it's them being stalked in the desert by the Scorpion?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's your Terminator movie right there. Boom. I did it. You're welcome.
A good Terminator movie would be a movie based on that arcade game where you and a friend shoot.
Yes. The shit that be flying at you like
just fucking hardcore Henry, but it's a Terminator game.
I'm with it.
I'm down actually.
What's gonna happen? They're gonna have Sam Worthington be the guy who introduces you to the universe.
Absolutely.
Get up. We're in a war. Get up.
Oh God.
Wake the fuck up, Samurai.
Recast Sam Worthington.
Recast, please.
No, I mean like get him back in.
Oh, put him back in.
Cast him.
Yeah,
Cast
but
him
I think
he's got a lot to give.
I think any Terminator movie or TV show is going to be dead on arrival. Just like you said, I just think we're just too used to it being bad, and we're just like, oh, James Cameron isn't doing this. Bye. Whatever. Next. So, not surprised to hear the anime was dog shit. I'm gonna skip it. Oh, would you rate it?
Right. Let's move on. Oh, rating? I don't. You want me to actually rate it?
Yeah.
It feels like a 3, dude.
Damn.
I only saw 4 episodes. Wasn't good.
Oh, you didn't even finish it.
No, I couldn't. Why would I?
Oh, dude, that's why I give it a 6. I gave it a 6 not only because I finished it, but because I was like, it's not Genesis. So.
I'd rather watch Genesis. It's shorter.
I would have.
That's true. That's true. It's less time. It's less time invested.
Less minutes off my life.
It doesn't feel like it. It does not feel like it.
And it's got Emilia Clarke. That's right.
Oh shit! Never mind. I might have
I don't
to.
care about her.
I
don't hate her. I didn't watch
so
Game of Thrones, so I don't give a shit.
Jai Courtney, goofy ass.
It's also not fair because you haven't seen Game of Thrones and everything else she's been in is dog shit. So it's like, it's not looking.
Not wrong.
Her. Yeah, not looking.
The man's not wrong.
Speaking from dog shit to dog. Speaking of dog shit.
He's right. Speaking of dog shit, speaking of sequels and incessant fucking dookie and just bullshit. Let's talk about Joker.
Folly dog shit.
Folly dookie. Dog shit. Dookie. Like,
well, it was just what were we gonna mention about this? Just the fact that Todd was like, it's not a musical, guys.
Yeah. What's the name of the director?
Todd
again. What's it? Todd Phillips. Todd Phillips.
Todd Haynes is the wrong guy.
Yeah, Todd Phillips.
We had that first Joker. Was it 2017, 2019?
2019.
It was not bad. It was a solid turnaround in terms of like DC films, because like every other DC film.
If you want to make a meditation on mental health and like what it does to a person to be sick, you're all like, why the fuck do you need to do it in a Joker movie? I don't want that.
That's what
I want him to be a terrorist. I want him to poison water supplies. I want him to blow up planes. Fuck all that bullshit.
Todd Phillips was literally like
one child beat with a crowbar yet.
Yeah,
Todd Phillips was literally like, I love Taxi Driver so much. I wish I would have made this movie, so I'll just remake it, put the Joker in it, and then call it an original concept.
People are like, oh my god,
that movie.
Cinema, exactly. I mean, that's exactly. But I get what you're saying, and that's what a lot of people's problem with Todd Phillips' Joker movies are. They're like, what the fuck are we doing? This is not Joker at all.
Yeah.
And look, I have to defend the fact, like the adaptation, right? I think
I
refuse.
I think characters we should let artists kind of take characters and have their own interpretations of them and implement them. Whether you fuck with them or not, whether you like them or not is a completely different. But if we know every Joker every Joker story that has ever been written. We know every Joker adaptation that there has been, right? And it's like I appreciate Todd Phillips's pivot in what he did with the first movie, but it feels like at this point it's just like, dude, just hang up the boots, bro. Let this shit be over with, and just let James Gunn make Joker scary again. It's like, what are we doing? Oh, but sorry. The main thing we were talking about is that why we put this on the docket is because Joker 2 has musical sequences in it, and Todd Phillips is pushing very hard against the fact that it's a musical. He was like, no, this isn't a musical, guys, don't do that. And we're talking about the fact that it's because general audiences don't like musicals. So it's really funny to make one and then be like, actually, it's not one. And then the trailers don't
convey whatever the fuck it is.
Don't convey that. And I think it's kind of fucked up because people are going to walk into this movie expecting it to be like the first one and be like, why the fuck is Joaquin Phoenix singing a dog shit song on this big screen?
So I found the quote where he's like, we never really talked about it, but I like to say that it's a film where music is an essential element. To me, that doesn't veer too far from the first film, he said, of the movie's tone. So essentially, his whole concept that he's really going with is that they're not really like musical. It's not like In the Heights or whatever, right? His whole thing is like
it could
to
never be in the
convey
Heights.
their insanity, so to speak, that he's using the music as like an element to showcase that. But I feel like going this long, like months before the movie comes out, and marketing it, saying that the second one's going to be a musical, and then just now telling people, no, it's technically not. That's come on. You already knew what you were doing. You wanted to make Taxi Driver 2, and this is what happened. You needed a way to promote it to get butts and seats some way to get people talking about it, and you resorted to whatever the fuck this is. Like, it's at a point to where I have never. I've talked about this multiple times in the group chat. I talked about this with Luis, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Luis, we kind of have the same stance on this. That this movie is going to be super polarizing to where it's either incredible or dog shit. There is going to be no.
And guess what? It's not going to be.
It's gonna be dog shit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be dog shit. I'll tell you what poll it's gonna be on that shit poll.
Yeah, it's not gonna be
shit ass.
I mean,
it's not
like
good.
if you just
reviews have already come out of. Oh, sorry. Go, Matt. Go.
I was gonna say, if you think about how the first movie took the DC universe by storm, being that it was so different from the main storylines that you're seeing there. You know, we don't see a Batman. We barely see Thomas Wayne. Like, it's almost, it's connected to the DC universe, yet so far removed that it's its own thing, and it worked. Then you have this film, and it's like, what happened in the last 4 years, 5 years, or however long it's been since they started doing shit for it. Bro, you went from making Joker 2 to making Joker 2 ass 2 cheeks. What is this?
I think that's a very good point you mentioned, because I think if you would have gone a different way, like if you would have approached it like this and made Joker 1 like an origin story, and then Joker 2 closer. I mean, still made probably some adaptive choices, maybe it a little bit darker, more focused on Arthur. But if this character would have resembled a Joker that the comic book fans know and love, and if this story would have resembled that a little bit more, I think that would have been the correct way to go about it. Because I think people would have been like, well, I'm locked in. That first Joker, it was weird, it was different, it was interesting, but it was a good origin story. It was a nice, interesting take, and now we have a Joker, and we know how he came to be, and now we can see him do Joker shit. But instead, he's like, no, I'm gonna cast Lady Gaga. I'm gonna make her a Harley Quinn that's barely even a Harley Quinn according to her reviews.
Exactly.
It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah. It's to a point to where I genuinely feel like the same tactic that they use with the Bear in order to win an Emmy, right? Where they subvert it into a different category. I feel like this is category the cinematic fraud. Equivalent. Yeah, this is category fraud but cinematic, because this is just at this point IP fraud or something. Like this is at a point to where like I will willingly have liberties taken with certain characters, elements of humanity added towards them to make them less two-dimensional. That's fine. That's cool. That's well and good, because it helps translate them from comics, which, no pun intended, but are literally a 2D medium to a 3D medium when you go into like cinema, right? It makes sense to take certain liberties to make that character as palatable to audiences who are foreign to that character and their history. But that being said, there is a right way and a wrong way to do this. And a major critique I've seen is people being like, oh, well, if you just want the Joker to be a silly killing machine, that's not going to be a character. I mean, that's how you get Jared Leto's Joker. Inca-fucking-wrecked. I could see a Joker with absolutely no humanity, no regard for himself or others, and I would love it. You know why? Because of Heath goddamn Ledger. There is charisma in that Joker. Even Jack Nicholson's, as twisted and just lackadaisically like gangster as he is, has some level of charisma that keeps him engaging without adding some sort of human backstory and all this emotional bullshit.
I mean, even
I do not care about.
I think he's a phenomenal actor. I think he does.
Yes.
I think he does a fantastic job. And this is the last thing I'll say about this and this whole conversation, this whole movie, because I'm so over it. But it's like, if there's no need for Todd, and I think this speaks to like the industry at large and where it's at and how IP focused and driven it is, because there's no need for Todd Phillips to make this a DC movie and make this a Joker movie. I think if you wanted to make a spiritual successor, spiritual sequel to Taxi Driver, that would have been interesting and cool movie that he really respects, that he really likes, and that really inspires him. I think he could have made something in that ilk that was not DC related, that did not have the Joker, and I think if he wanted to do that, he should have been able to do that. But I think now it's gone like too conflated and too convoluted, and he's like, and Warner Brothers is like, well, we made a fuck ton of money, so we got to get you another one. He's like, well, I don't really know what I want to do, so I'm gonna and I don't really care or like or respect this character or this world or these comics, so I'm gonna just do something, get it out of the fucking way, and call it a day. So I just think everybody loses at the end of the day. Todd Phillips, because he obviously wanted to make something that is not this and that does not have to do anything with this universe. And I think the fans lose because they're expecting something and want something completely different and aren't getting it. And it's just, and we're getting bad art and bad movies because of it. And ultimately that hurts everybody.
I agree to a certain degree.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
The only part where I disagree is that where you say that Joaquin Phoenix is talented. I think he's a fucking hack. And I think he's a shitty fucking person. And I will never forgive him for what he did to my boy.
Danny Ramirez, that's right.
Danny Ramirez.
We live, but we won't forget.
And I don't.
We forgive, but we don't. We forgive, but we don't forget.
I don't know about forgive, man. I might hold a grudge on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I might hold a grudge on this one.
Danny had an Oscar nomination guaranteed in this. He fucked him.
He fucked him by refusing to fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Speaking of, just DC taking a weird direction, be it with directing, storylines, and of course casting. Like you said, with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, we heard some very interesting casting rumors for the upcoming Lanterns TV show, and I don't agree with a single one. I have agreed with basically, in fact, we've predicted on this show. We predicted several of our, I won't say several because I want to be inaccurate, but we predicted some castings for the DC universe, and we've been right. David Cornsweet, shout out the boy, our Superman, called that one years ago. And for the most part, the castings for the DC films, the upcoming DC films and shows, look good, sound good. Then here comes Green Lantern. The formula is very simple, bro. All-American, like snippy, cool, good-hearted, but kind of an asshole.
Boy Scout.
White Boy Scout cop. Black military, but somewhat little reckless.
Straight edge kind of.
Straight edge with somewhat little reckless younger man. Second Green Lantern. It's the formula simple. Why the fuck is Josh Brolin being attached to these rumors? Why in God's name? In the name of Darkseid and Apocalypse. Why?
Because of bankability? Because he's an A-lister?
I don't give a shit what list he's
on. The wife beater. Fuck that guy. I don't give a shit if he's on the +1 list. It doesn't matter. Do not put him in. He's old. This guy is old. And if you want to go with an older Green Lantern, there's other actors. Tom Cruise is right there.
Exactly. James
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine, we talked about this in the chat. James Marsden, if you want to throw his name in there, just cast someone who's reasonably good looking and not 70 years old. I know Josh Brolin's not 70. That's an exaggeration.
He fucking looks like he's 70.
He looks like
he's all that hate in his heart.
And then you have the other castings that were announced, the potential names announced too. Matthew McConaughey and Ewan McGregor. Bro.
Those might be two of the worst casting rumors I have ever heard, ever.
It's as bad as like the castings of the Red Dead movie on TikTok. Like it's fucking dog shit. It's people who don't know any fucking actors, but people who have been in like the biggest movies ever.
Yeah, that's all they're doing.
And I like both of those actors. Don't get me wrong, but Ewan McGregor as Hal Jordan or Matthew McConaughey. No. You would just get Matthew McConaughey in a Green Lantern suit, and you would get Ewan McGregor doing the dog shit American accent. It's not. It's like
which you can't do.
Which you can't do. It's like what are. And it's I don't know, man.
There are so many better.
Hal's gonna be from the fucking RAF in the new continuity.
Yeah, everything about this show is not looking good. You know who's writing and creating it? Isn't it Greg Berlanti?
Oh my fucking God!
Why do I know that name?
CW Greg Berlanti.
No.
He wrote Love, Simon, which is a not a bad movie. Fly Me to the Moon, that Scarlett Johansson, Channing Tatum shit that just flopped. You remember what? Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, Everwood, Arrow, Supergirl. Like,
mind you, here's the issue with Greg Berlanti in my eyes. The CW shows all start off great. Like really, it's like really good. It draws you in. This is fantastic. Let's go dive into this. Let's see where it rolls to the next season. You get to about season 2, 3 is when the quality starts to drop off. Anything past like season 4, don't watch it.
Right.
Don't, because it's not going to be good. And that scares me if they're attaching him to the new DC.
Never mind. It's not Greg Berlanti. That was before James Gunn, Peter Safran stuff. My bad.
Greg Berlanti.
You're not forgiven, but I'm glad you're not involved.
Yeah. My bad.
We still gonna drag you, but you're lucky you're not on this.
Yeah.
No, point still stands. They cannot repeat the same mistakes as prior DC TV. And one of the biggest mistakes they're gonna do is a miscast with your one of two leading men in this show. And I think I still stand by my Glenn Lantern agenda. I know if they're wanting to go with an older Hal Jordan, that changes things. But I still, if they want to do the younger route, keep him, mid 20s, 30s, whatever.
However old Glenn is. He's like 29 or something.
No, he's almost 40, bro. He's like 30.
I don't know. I was trying to be. I was just throwing the age up.
He's old.
He don't look like it.
Old enough for me.
You actually, I'm so stupid. You know who is in charge of the Lantern TV show? Damon Lindelof.
Isn't that
Watchmen? That's Watchmen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
there's some hope there. It's just the casting.
I still won't watch it, but they got someone good.
It's the same situation as what did we say?
Oh.
Like Fantastic Four and the future of the Fantastic Four and the X-Men movies coming up in the MCU. The casting will make or break whatever is coming up. And you can have a fantastic show, but if I'm looking at Josh Brolin and age aside, attaching him to Thanos, Jonah Hex, everything else he's been in, Dune, you name it, I'm like,
No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men. I'm like, doesn't work. I'm gonna be seeing cast some newer faces. I think with the new DCU, the new DC universe, they should start pulling in newer faces and let it be a clean slate. Find folks who can act. If you set your age parameters, it's going to be a 45, 50-year-old Hal Jordan. Cool.
There's hella 45.
There's hella exactly.
You can find one, I promise.
You can throw a stone. You can turn left and you'll find
in
one.
Hollywood. Yeah,
I'll find one right now. I'll go outside right now.
And here's the thing. I'm sorry I fucked up with my little blunder about Greg Berlanti. It's not. And this is, I think, very important, like to kind of dictate the direction they're going. Chris Mundy, who wrote on True Detective Night Country and on Ozark, which are two great shows, is actually serving as showrunner and executive producer. And then Damon Lindelof is executive producing as well as co-writing. And then a guy named Tom King who worked on Supergirl. And so it seems like they have besides Tom King and Supergirl, it seems like they have a pretty competent, pretty talented set of like executive producers and show runners and writers. So what, like just to piggyback off of what you're saying, you have a good foundation built off of it by casting someone who's, like you said, relatively unknown, but who is incredibly talented, and who because this is going to be a linchpin of James Gunn's DC universe moving forward. You don't want Josh Brolin, you don't want Ewan McGregor or Matthew McConaughey leading that charge. You're going to have Jon Stewart for the next 10 years and older Hal Jordan for the foreseeable future. That can be achievable. And you're going to get a good series with writers like that. So casting, I think, is of utmost importance when it comes to this show. And I do not want them to fuck it by casting Matthew fucking McConaughey or Ewan McGregor.
Or Josh Brolin, which, let's be clear, cannot carry a show. Outer Range is dog shit. There's a reason there's not a fucking second season of that show.
There is. I think it just dropped.
Oh, well, no one's watching it.
It's not good. It's not looking good, bro.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
checking me, bro.
Hopefully they.
Hey, bro, you're good. I fucked up bad. Trust me. So I'm just trying to. Trust me. So I'm trying to maintain our journalistic integrity.
Hey, bro, it's our first miss in like what 2 years.
Yeah, my bad. We correct.
We never miss if we're being honest. You know which one never? You know who else never missed? The Sonic trailer, bro. I'm not gonna lie, that shit was kind of hard. That shit was peak. The only thing that was missing, in my opinion, was him saying "disgusting" like creature.
Would you mention who do you just? I know, just not to veer too much off topic, but who would you like as Jon Stewart? I think we've had this discussion before. But just quickly,
Rhodes.
Trevante Rhodes. Matthew
Trevante
Rhodes.
I want myself, and then
I want his fine ass on camera.
Mm-hmm. The guy from I think he's too light skinned, but the guy who's going to be in that new movie Rebel Ridge that drops.
Oh no, he's too
tomorrow.
He's too light skinned, bro.
He's too light skinned, right?
You can't get away with that one.
You got to have the dark.
Stewart.
They did it.
How do we feel about Damson?
No. Yeah, I like Damson.
I like him.
I think he's good. I think he's good. I would.
No, why? No, why?
I'm not.
Watch. People are gonna be like John Boyega.
Also, no, not because this is not because they're not.
Dark skins in Hollywood. They know.
Hear me out. This is not because
like Jamie Foxx.
This is not because they're. This is not because they're not good actors. It's because they're too known. If anything,
yes.
You know,
Trevante hasn't been in shit for like 10 years. He can.
Yeah. But it's not him. You need John Boyega.
You know who whose name I'd throw in the hat with all these names you're mentioning?
Who?
Old boy from what's that British show?
The racist guy from Black
Lightning. Not. Oh my God.
No one from fucking Supercell. Fuck
Matt, I thought you have a good idea instead of recommending the British.
We saying good actors, bro.
No fucking British people.
I said one black mate. I'm Green Lantern. Mate. In brightest day, in blackest night. No evil.
Absolutely, man.
You'll be like, no evil shall
escape
hear
me
Ain't
out.
that right, Mandem? Ain't that right?
Mandem is crazy.
The Mandem. Yo, out, mate.
Oh, no, dude.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
I think
if any British person,
no colonizers,
like Boyega and Damson. Maybe David Johnson. I know someone threw his name in there on Twitter.
No.
Guy.
He's too good an actor.
You don't want him to be.
Although I think this show is going to be great. I want him to do other more interesting stuff.
Put that man in the room with fucking Alex Garland. I wanted to.
Yeah, baby. Something like
I think they would mesh like a motherfucker. Yeah, make some. And I hate auteur shit as a
concept. You hate auteur
as a concept, but put him in some auteur shit.
That's what I'm saying. I want more for David, is what I'm saying.
If David Johnson has to play anybody in DC, I actually have a good idea of who I think he'd be fucking solid as.
Who?
One of two people.
Who?
Okay, that's actually a good pick. But that was one of the ones I had in mind. That's solid.
That's solid. A Brainiac.
It'd be solid. I'd watch that. I'd watch the fuck out
Martian Manhunter.
Like,
and not because of how he performed in
I have an actor too, and we'll wrap this conversation up quickly because we could go on and on. Go for it.
Either Red Tornado or Martian Manhunter. I'd watch.
Yes.
Martian Manhunter would be good.
Both of those.
I just said that. Everyone ignored me. Fuck y'all.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
We didn't hear you. Yeah, he'd be a fantastic.
No, I said
he really would be. He has like that detached 1,000-yard.
His performance in Romulus is basically an audition for Martian
Manhunter. Gerardo was right. That
here's a choice. Here's the choice for Jon Stewart. An actor called Stephen James or Stephen. It's spelled Stephan James, and he was in 21 Bridges, but he was also in If Beale Street Could Talk, which is no
one's fucking seen those movies.
I know, but he's a fantastic actor,
and he's Canadian.
he looks the part as
he's
well.
A Mountie.
He's false American,
but it's also like how you were saying, Matt. He's not He's not that famous that you would associate him with any other role or any other character, and he's an incredibly talented actor. So I think it's like the perfect combination of someone who has a proven track record. He's been in great stuff and is good in good stuff, and he's an incredible actor, and he's not that famous. So I think that's like
two things on that. One, he played Jesse Owens in the 2016 Race film. Two, he's the younger brother of Shamir Anderson, who was Mr. Nobody in John Wick 4.
Oh, really? Wow.
So
why not him for John Stewart? Why didn't we talk about
I was thinking that too.
His face is too round.
Yeah, I need somebody with a chiseled jaw. You
got it. He might got it.
Military.
Shamir could have
That's
it.
true.
Bro, did you see the way he was moving around with that German Shepherd? That's a score streak.
That's true.
A Call of Duty man right there.
That's true.
What he's doing.
So I don't know.
Are we going to talk about the new Minecraft movie?
No. I'm excited for James Gunn's DC, and I'm excited for what he's got moving forward. Streets are saying Superman is amazing, so
it can't be worse than Snyder.
Can't
we
be.
Were right.
So
what do we say here? Green Book always right. Where the Green Book at? We never miss.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited for the Lantern TV series. Just don't cast A-list actors as Hal Jordan or as fucking Jon Stewart and let motherfuckers cook. Please. No Josh Brolin, no Matthew McConaughey, no Ewan McGregor. For the love of
And if it's an A-lister, make it Tom Cruise.
Or Glenn Powell. I don't care if he's 48.
Mm-hmm. I'm his agent, though. Contract prerequisite, he has to be nude.
Full frontal. The whole time. Has to.
You said we're trying to see that.
We're doing the opposite of Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern suit, where it's all CGI. His is just painted on. No clothes, just painted on. Green
I want to look like a green Dr. Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
From Watcher,
if you have to do test footage, you can shoot it.
Cock and balls out. And I want him to drop something, turn around, and pick it up.
That's his audition. Okay, Harvey Weinstein.
Wait! New Jon Stewart cast. New Jon Stewart cast.
Oh, who?
Iris.
So he can be. Yeah. So whenever Hal flies away, and he's like, "No, please, no." Or like Parallax shows up. And he's fucking getting his ass beat. And he's like, "Ah,
no!" The best part is gonna be when Parallax lands on Earth to inflict fear upon the population, and he makes a giant spring and he goes ejectocito cut, and then he fucking just launches him in his face.
And then how Jordan's actor says, "Forget about it, cut. Forget about it."
Honestly,
bring back Paul Walker with CGI.
Paul Walker, dead. Paul Walker's corpse is Hal Jordan in the new Green Lantern.
Like in Brightest Day, in Blackest Night.
Exhume his ass.
Exhume, yeah.
I want y'all to weekend at Bernie's ass into the pool.
We said no to a abuser, but yes to a pedophile for our Jon Stewart. For our Hal Jordan.
Hey man, it's pretty realistic for an Air Force pilot.
Yeah. He's dead, as all pedophiles should be. He's already checked my box.
That's right, baby. Let's go. But yeah,
I think if they had put if this was like 2003 or whatever, and he
would have been in the running.
And Paul Walker, 2 green, 2 lantern. Hell yeah, I would watch the fuck out of that.
I would not watch that.
They're gonna be walking around.
Directed by Michael Bay.
Hey, Parallax. We hungry. And then they're gonna have Ludacris in there randomly. Tej! Oh!
No, Dawn!
This is our bridge between the Fast and Furious franchise.
It's all in the same universe.
We didn't get Transformers, but we got the entirety of the DC universe.
And it's basically just Fast and the Furious actors in different roles.
Yes.
Except Dom, he's already a superhero.
Yeah, Gal Gadot's already Wonder Woman.
Ooh, never mind.
You have
Ixnay the whole thing.
Best part of the 6th movie was when she flew out that plane. I was like, pack alert.
Man, did
she come back?
Man, some bullshit like that.
Allegedly.
Because the money ran out. She broke as fuck. The money ran out. They had to rewrite her shit back in.
All right. That's it for Green Lantern. That was a good one. What's the next on the document?
We had mentioned Shamir Anderson being in John Wick 4. It's just phenomenal that another sequel involves Keanu Reeves, and we're talking about the only Sonic 3.
Yeah,
Shadow is here.
Yeah,
you know, all my real
ring.
shadows stand up. All my real shadows stand up. We need,
I need a ring.
No, he's like,
but there's no pants
I'm
down
thinking
here, but it's
5 rings.
I'm so fucking hyped.
He said,
I'm
Are you honestly, or is this a
disgusting
bit?
black
This
creature.
is not a bit.
that's what I need him to say, bro. That's what I
grown
need him to
adult man.
say.
I'm gonna
Bro.
take off the shades because I'm that serious. Oh my god, it's so much brighter.
You're
Listen,
for
I'm
real
a grown
hyped
adult
about
man,
this.
and I am actively excited to see
Yes.
2 hedgehogs and a echidna and a fucking fox in shoes fight each other. Is that childish? Is that stupid?
That's embarrassing.
Is that lame? Is that the reason why my dick has been dry for over 3 years? Perhaps. But I don't care because this shit is fire. Okay? This is filmmaking done right, and I mean this is not even a bit.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
No,
bitch.
fuck you, Luis. This is why. Okay, look, this is why I say this is filmmaking done right. Because the first Sonic, we saw the concept art, everyone's like, what the fuck is that? We saw the trailer, and the internet was so incredibly mad. We bullied the entirety of the staff to fixing it. And what did they do?
They fixed it.
Masterpiece, nigga. I'm talking brush strokes. I'm talking happy trees, no Bob Ross. Delightful.
Are those movies actually?
They're actually so fun.
I've heard that they're not bad. I've heard they're not
They're
terrible.
so fun.
I've heard that they're pretty good.
The first one is a great it's a great origin film. It's very fun.
Honest to God, I have heard people are like they're not
the
worst thing I've ever seen.
It's very fun and it's very fun. It's also managed to bridge the gap between being a kids movie and being a movie for grown-ups who've grown up with the Sonic character through the video games and everything. It also manages to be whimsical and still heartwarming, and like I said, a whole lot of fun. Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik is a fucking if we want to talk about good castings, that's a great casting right there.
He's
phenomenal.
Strokes.
James Marsden, that you pretty idiot, he just shows up and smiles, and everyone's like, "We love you, James. You're so handsome, bro. Keep doing your thing."
Didn't he sign a letter in support of who was it?
I don't know.
He's canceled, I think.
Never mind.
Who? Roman Polanski?
No, somebody else. Oh, I think
Danny
Masterson. I think, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, tough.
That was even worse.
Well, guess what? He's not the main character. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about Ben Schwartz.
Ben Schwartz as Sonic is
Keep John Ralphio employed, please.
Yes. Half of the 2 worst people in all of Pawnee, Indiana, is employed, and
the worst. Show some respect.
Mona Lisa's awful. They're both awful.
I love her. They're so funny.
My twin sister.
They're both so terrible. But Ben Schwartz is a prolific voice actor. My other favorite roles of his include when
Plastic
I
Man.
believe it's when he's Plastic Man, great. But when he's Dewey in DuckTales is also really great. Like he's just he's genuinely just
he's got a good
damn. You watch cartoons voice. For real.
He's got a good.
I've never seen that shit in my life.
Okay,
he's got a great voice.
We grew up on it, yeah.
And then you have like Idris Elba playing Knuckles, which I was damn, they made Knuckles.
Also
hot.
great
that's
casting.
Unfortunate, but that's excellent.
That's a nigga, bro. It's not any echidna. That's a nigga, bro.
That's the most shocking thing about this franchise. I haven't seen a single minute of these films, but when they cast Jim Carrey, I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Then they cast Idris Elba as Knuckles. Then they cast Keanu Reeves as Shadow. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? What is going on?
They're cooking, bro.
Huh?
Always cooking.
I said, what's going on? Peak is what's going on.
Oh, God.
I might have to watch them. I have Peacock, and I know they're all on Peacock. And I heard the Knuckles show is
It's on Paramount. It's on Paramount Plus.
Oh, it's on Paramount, not Peacock. You're right.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Bro, but okay, so the thing is with the Sonic movies, right? the main reason why I love them so much is because I was not expecting them to be as good as they are. Every single time I expect either dog shit or mediocrity, and I'm always like, oh no, he's doing the thing. He's doing the where his feet spin in a little circle, and then he runs really fast and does the loop-de-loop. Ah, dude, I'm seriously reset to like the most primal childlike wonder of like playing Sonic Adventure 2 and just having the best time at my cousin's house. Like, it's so good to where it does these winks and nods to like the original source material, but does it well, including the one this one's based off of, which is Sonic Adventure 2, which means we're gonna see Shadow just beat the dog shit out of Sonic. I mean, he does this nigga bad, Your Honor.
And he better pop up with that green emerald and do some
the Chaos Emerald.
Disgusting black creatures.
Like,
get out of my
Is that an actual?
That's a real line.
It's a real line.
Yeah.
There's some black creatures in there that were disgusting, and he said he don't want to see none of that.
That's real. They wrote that.
What was I gonna say?
That's gonna be used for years.
When I was in elementary
Keanu
school,
Reeves says that shit. That's gonna be the soundbite of the year.
There's no way. His agent did not let him say that. There's absolutely no way they let him say that.
If they know
blue creatures,
they know that will get TikTok sound.
Yes,
and will drive up tickets. He's gonna say it, and if he doesn't, he's a fucking hack.
There's no way Keanu Reeves, one of the most famous people on earth, will say disgusting black creatures. There's no fucking way.
Keanu Reeves is so kind. They'll be like, "Whoa, what did black people do to Keanu Reeves?" Like that's what
black people will say, "Damn, did we deserve this?"
Like, what did Graham's best friend just say?
Yeah. What did Graham's just say? The only kind of like relationship I have to Sonic or Shadow is when I was in elementary school. My best friend at the time, he had that Shadow game. PlayStation
where he's got the Glock.
Where
he got the gun.
He doesn't have guns in this, but he has the motorcycle.
That's yeah.
And he did the fucking Akira slide, bro. Yeah. He did the Akira slide. I said, I know this nigga real.
Hey, that callback is so overplayed, bro. I'm kind of over it. They do it in everything.
Hey, man.
They're doing everything. Jordan Peele did it.
And they got a bike in there. They got a bike in there.
You guys all like cartoons, bro.
The thing is, the Akira slide, just when I'm out, I'm like, I can't do any more of this reference. Then my brain sees Hedgehog do it, and I'm like, on God? On God?
You're like, damn, this might be fire.
Like Sonic 3, that's my bad. But like, there's so many bits in the trailer. You get Robotnik's dad, who I can't tell if it's Jim Carrey or another guy.
It is.
Of course, it's Jim Carrey.
It's Jim Carrey,
bro. It's Jim Carrey. I
wasn't entirely sure. I was like, is this just a guy who's like really?
He and his Eddie Murphy bag doing the Nutty Professor.
But I really like that. I like how Eggman is just a fat, rotund, disgusting bastard now. I love that so much.
How he should be. How he should have always been.
I like how like Idris Elba's Knuckles is just blatantly insulting Sonic, where he's like, "You're much stronger than the other hedgehog I fought." And he's like, "I'm right here. I'm literally right fucking here. What is wrong?"
I might have to check these movies out and see, in preparation for Sonic 3.
They're nothing
and the show.
Fun. You don't have to watch Knuckles.
Oh no.
You don't have to do it. I love Sonic, but goddamn, you don't.
All right, I'll watch the movie then. All right, I'm excited. I keep hearing good things about it, and maybe I should just give it a chance, go into it, not expect anything, and just be like, "Hey, I'm here for a good time. Let's do it." So. And I love everyone. I like everyone involved. So.
Also, the comments will crucify if I don't mention this as much as I've been screaming about Sonic. Yes, I am aware that in the trailer there is an orchestral version of Crush 40's Live and Learn. I'm well aware of that.
Shut up, you fucking nerd.
It bangs.
Just like me.
Listen to any song. Matter of fact, look up City Escape right after this recording and tell me that shit doesn't fucking slap.
All right. I'll look it up. Send the link.
Goddamn good.
Send the link.
I will. I'll text it to the group chat. It's just. That
just goes to what we said about music. We said this a couple episodes ago when we were talking about Gladiator, how music is important for trailers and for the film themselves. You attach a composer like freaking Hans Zimmer, Ludwig Göransson,
Michael Giacchino,
Henry Jackman, Danny Elfman, any of these folks. There's a lot of big names out there, and they're all good. They all come with bangers, bro. You attach someone to a movie, and it's already a good movie. You just made your movie a great movie. And like, I think the Sonic films have good soundtracks.
Oh yeah,
they're for what the movies are. It's a great soundtrack. So knowing that they do well with this trailer too. In me personally, I mean, it should throw some. It could throw some rap in there. It could throw some. But if this
they put Gangsta's Paradise in the first
trailer. They did put in the first one. That shit went hard, bro.
That's the most basic, like that's the most like accessible, like white people like Gangsta's Paradise, like
that is true. Put Eminem in the next one.
A slide of gangsta rap.
They can put some. Hi, my name is. My name is.
My name is Sonic
the Hedgehog. Exactly. Or they're gonna make a Venom 4. They're gonna fuck around and make a Venom 4 and another
Venom. Oh my god. Speaking of Venom, bro. I'm gonna be honest. That shit's off to a rocky start. That was off to a rocky start. The appearance of the Thing and the new Fantastic Four.
Nice.
Greatest segue of all time. We got pictures of the
Thing. Bro, you gotta work on your first steps, bro. You gotta get that shit together.
Boo to both of y'all.
You're right.
No, but yes, we
gotta. What'd you say? He said no. It could have been worse. Could have been like Fan Four Stick. He said we're there's a 4 of us. It's pretty fantastic. What did you say? Like whatever the fucking.
Say that again.
Never
say that again.
I am so glad. I'm so glad that Miles Teller was in Top Gun Maverick, because that, in theory, if you do not watch any of his prior films,
I'm not.
You start off at a good note. Besides Whiplash.
Besides Whiplash, I'm mad.
Most of my good insults. I love Whiplash.
Me too. I'm mad he was in Maverick
because
it would have been literally anybody else.
It's just so good seeing that they're taking a new set of first steps with the Fantastic Four, the first family of the MCU. Yeah. We've seen what, 3 entries, 4 entries technically 4 entries of the Fantastic Four in a movie
4?
setting.
3.
Yeah, 4.
The really
old, OG like 90s or
the Roger McCorman
shit that never got
Roger
released.
Corman, the Roger Corman.
Oh yeah.
And mind you, that one looks really good, like design wise, their hairstyles, their costume looks kind of spot
comic
on.
Accurate. Yeah.
It looks comic accurate. And then you get to 2005 with the sexiest fucking superhero cast of all time.
They're all
Ewan Gruffudd. That shit right there, bro. I mean, you know, saying Jessica Alba, Ewan Gruffudd, Michael Chiklis,
I was just to kind of talk about
Chris
the
Evans.
image that we saw. I saw some comments saying that it wasn't true. They were just kind of like putting someone in a costume for like as a placemaker, whatever the case may be. Let's say they actually are using a practical thing suit. Whatever, bro. I don't give a fuck. Anything that
that's
Jack Schaefer. Is it Jack Schaefer who's directing this?
I believe so.
Whatever the fuck they're gonna do with this movie, I'm in, dude. I mean, from day one, I think we're all pretty much on the same page, and we're just like, yeah, give this to me right now and inject it into my veins.
It's also
go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's also the same place. Like, it's the inverse, I feel, of the effect of Terminator. So we've had so many retreads, right? And the bar is already so low. It's very hard to fuck this up. Like at this point, like it is. If you manage to go the way of the Terminator, the proverbial dodo of IPs, that's impressive. And Fantastic Four, I feel like has like so much writing on it. With even the cast, you have Pedro Pascal, you have Ebon Moss-Backrack, etc. Like you have all these
Kirby,
cousin.
You have cousin. You need off your fucking expo right now. Just like,
nice.
like
great Chicago accent. Yeah.
They should put fact. They should put fact in this movie somewhere.
Bears.
I love Matty Matheson. I love Matty Matheson. He should.
I need that. I need that.
Look, here's my idea. You don't have Stan Lee anymore, and if you need a Willie Lumpkin cameo, fact. Get my boy Matheson in there. Just put him in there. Even if he's a fucking hot dog guy,
make him the same character. Make him the mailman for the Baxter Building, so he has to interact with them every fucking time.
He was Stan Lee in the other ones. That's Willie Lumpkin.
Yeah.
With the funniest
I know
name.
that name.
I am very much.
I didn't remember the name. I have one of these. I'm turned up off the juice right now.
I like how he has like the weird flat furrowed kind of fucking Jack
Yes.
brow. I like how he's got like this frumpy sad rock man. Like he looks like
a monster. Thing. He looks like the thing.
He looks upset. And I would be like, if I was a child walking down the street, or his wife who for some reason came all the way to the scene of a car accident to leave her wedding ring there, I too would be disgusted. I would see it. I see that with this one because
that shit was so foul, bro.
I'm curious as to how much of the thing's design will be CGI, how much of it will be practical. But like I said before, at this point, I don't give a fuck. I trust the filmmakers in charge.
Let me put it this way.
I'm disappointed in this movie, and y'all can suck my dick if you disagree, because I think it's gonna be great.
If they go the route that Alien Romulus took, having the costumes for the alien and the Freakazoid Baby-lian or whatever the fuck, Baby Morph, that shit right there. If they take the same route and use the practical suit and still use just a touch of CGI where it's needed. Where it's needed, not excessive, but where it's needed, that would be phenomenal. You know, I'm not expecting them to do the same thing with fucking like Ghost Rider. If you want to commit to the bit and light your fucking head on fire, hey, by all means, do it. That's you. But me personally, So, but for the thing, they make it what we've seen looks believable. To I can see, okay, if him and the Hulk gonna fight, I believe it would be a fight. You know, I believe they'd be able to hold their own against each other. It looks like two big dudes who can square off.
What I really want is more than anything. Mm-hmm. After seeing the most recent Human Torch effect within Deadpool the Wolverine, I really am worried about the special effects of some things, because two things always look weird to me in movies: stretchy boys and
the stretchy. Men. Yes, I was about to say the stretchy.
And the closest thing I've seen a good stretchy effect recently has been in the One Piece live action, although that's shot on the volume, so I can't really say that's
everything else looks like shit except for the stretchy.
I really want a good stretch effect. I don't want it to look like it's gonna haunt me in my nightmares. I want actual decent. Also, with his powers, I want him to do other things instead of I make big fist or reach arm. Don't. Yeah,
I want him to freaking extend his eyes to look at shit. I want him to use his neck and be peeking, they're trying to listen to some shit, and he's extend his ear over to the wall. Do some.
I want to see him extend his penis so he fucks Vanessa Kirby
from across the room.
Yeah.
I want Johnny Storm walking through the house and tripping over that shit like an extension cord. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And he can smell it.
Then Joseph Quinn. Then all you're gonna hear is Joseph Quinn do his best freaking Chris Evans, if it's just be like, dude,
no,
please,
no,
he's still a bad fucking cat.
We'll wait and see.
I'm not waiting shit. Fucking what was that fuck ass movie?
He's either
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place was ass. He was ass.
The thing that's gonna here's Mark. I'm putting money on this. The thing that's gonna turn Gerardo into a Joseph Quinn believer is Gladiator 2. It's Gladiator 2 because that one comes out first.
It won't. I'm not excited about that. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
That's okay. When you see it,
Ridley Scott is washed, and he's a fucking hack, and anyone else who fucking associates with him is a bitch.
I'm a bitch.
Pedro Pascal is a bitch.
Facts.
Pedro Pascal is a bitch
ass
all I'm gonna say is this. All I'm gonna say is this. Look. There's a reason why Fede got custody.
You think I'm not gonna double down, bro? Fuck you.
Kid. That's all I'm saying.
There's a reason Fede was fawning over the fact that Ridley Scott was like, yeah, I'll let you make this movie.
Yeah,
and he holds Ridley in such high regard.
Yeah, because he's a fucking dork.
Take it, whatever you want. Now look,
that's the equivalent of George Lucas and Dave Filoni. That's the equivalent.
Fuck both of those people.
Except Fede makes good shit. And
that's what I was gonna say. It's the same. It's the same dynamic. But see, Fede fucking cooked greatness, and I want Fede to make the next 15 Alien movies.
And Dave's got that goofy ass fucking hat on every day.
I don't know. Is he from the South? My what is it? My culture is not a costume, bitch.
Appropriating our shit.
All I know is that Mr.
I got the
Fede
Kevin Feige on right now.
Casinos Alvarez cannot tell me for even a single second that Joseph Quinn is going to be the right choice for any role until I see him as Johnny Storm. Until I see that, I will not agree with him as being a great actor or anything.
I agree.
Because this look, Johnny's my boy, my sweet baby flaming boy. All right, I like Johnny Storm a lot. If this motherfucker
Prove it,
being the only one who out of that entire cast I have little to no faith in of embodying their comic book counterpart fails, whole thing's forfeit. I'm gonna be honest.
No,
career is forfeit.
Oh, his career. I thought you meant the whole movie.
No. Just for Joseph. I don't want this nigga so much as casted as like a background extra in the Salvation Army version when he's waiting for his fucking beans.
This is the last thing I'll say about this. I'm not a Quiet Place Day One. I thought he was good in it, and I was kind of. We know I don't like him, and I'm really upset with this casting. But I trust the Marvel casting directors. They tend to do a really good job casting these movies, and I think that if you cast Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, and Evan Moss-Backrack, they had to have seen something in those chemistry reads.
No, they had to save money because of that cast, and they got fucking Joseph Quinn. So they're like, fuck it. People know him from Stranger Shit, so let's go with him.
Stranger Shit.
They're like, yo, what spare British do we have on the side? Yeah. What? Oh,
okay. All right. Two different ways of viewing it, but that's just how I think about it. I think you don't cast those three phenomenal actors who we know are incredibly talented, and then cast Joseph Quinn. If the chemistry is not good, and if those chemistry reads and those screen tests weren't great, because there's no way they would not. I just don't think this movie is too important. This cast is too important, and nailing these casting choices is too important. That would be too big a risk to take to just be like, fuck it, we'll just cast this white boy who's kind of popular right now. And hope that Pedro, Vanessa, and Evan can carry this film. I just don't think they would do that.
Okay. If there's also one last thing I want to hit on for this, and I feel like a lot of the time when we talk about Fantastic Four, we have not hit on this enough. The man with the deepest voice in the history of mankind is playing Galactus.
Oh, yeah.
Really
we have talked about this. Yeah.
I feel like we don't touch
on
it enough.
Not enough. I get what he's saying.
Like, I need one thing, and I need one thing only. Big Purple Man. Big Purple Man with a touchdown head. I want that.
Barney?
Give it to me.
Well, we saw in the footage that they had at Comic-Con that that's exactly what they're doing.
But what's even better is I want it to look like he's actually wearing the helmet instead of the Modocking it, because that shit.
I get what you're saying.
That shit haunts me. And they've spent like $30 billion, like the small GDP of Guam, basically, on Robert Downey Jr., which makes me scared because they hemorrhage.
Oh, it wasn't 30. It wasn't 30, baby. It was
way too much. They're spending so much on singular actors that I know that's not going towards their special effects people. And we're gonna have that whole volume crunch situation, and I hate that.
But that's not for this movie, so I don't think we have to worry about that.
Hopefully,
I think once we get to Secret Wars, then we can start getting concerned about. If Galactus is a part of that, we can start getting concerned. I think Fantastic Four, the movie as a whole, I think it's. I don't know, bro. I think it's gonna fuck, bro. I'm sorry.
I got higher hopes for it than like Joker and all the other ones.
Yeah, dog shit.
But
We're not watching that.
Oh, also, I forgot. Last thing I wanted to hit on was later this year. I'm pretty sure Creature Commandos comes out later this year, if I'm not mistaken.
Inshallah.
The first DCU property. I tried to read Creature Commandos, but their comics are fucking ancient, and I can't do it. I tried my hardest, but I can't.
Brother.
But we know. But if there's anything we know that James Gunn can do, is take a ragtag group of heroes that nobody knows and make them
household names.
Make them household names. Exactly.
We're gonna be hearing people talking about some Rick Flag Sr.
Rick Flag
for like
has
the next
been my favorite
10 years.
Since I was a kid.
Shut up, bitch. You can't even spell Rick Flag, you dumb bitch. Get out of here.
My favorite super character, Ratcatcher 2. No.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Ratcatcher 1.
These are and the thing about Creature Commandos too. These are some like I won't say like obscure like to the point where no one knows who they are. It's a very niche thing, you know. The DC universe has one of the most diverse, richest freaking roster of characters. I'm not even say heroes, roster of characters, bro.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You will be going for months, years just to get through the first like the golden age of characters, bro. There's too many to talk about. So this is something that's very specific. There's a specific set of people who have read these comics. They're going to come out in droves for this show.
Yeah.
It's going to attract the general audiences too because we're needing more. Yeah, AZ. It's going to attract the general audience too because we've been fiending for good DC content.
And it's going to attract fucking it's going to attract man babies who watch fucking cartoons in their fucking 20s and 30s and 40s.
He says that he knows he's going to watch it.
Because they don't know real fucking cinema.
You're
That's
going
why.
to watch
it's gonna
it,
be. It's still gonna have the. It's still gonna have the same. It's gonna have the detractors, of course. You know, the Star Wars theories and the freaking what's that? Den of nerds.
He doesn't cover anything not Star Wars. So.
Well, he needs to cover his fucking bald ass head.
He needs to goddamn natives.
Women in Star Wars. There's women in Star Wars.
Okay,
I don't think. Shut the fuck up. The fuck out of my face.
It's gonna have that mass 4-quadrant appeal because it's the first steps really into the DCU, and just bringing back bringing back an IP that has had just a dog shit 1997 and onward Cowboys level run. Like just
that's a phenomenal. That's the best analogy.
Cowgirls, fuck them.
Just doing.
Graham not here to defend himself
for
today.
A little bit, right? You have things like like the old Tim Burton Batman films. You have the Christopher Reeve Superman films. That's like 1997 and backwards, and then everything post that is just shit after shit after
except for the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Batman.
You know what? Yeah, the Dark Knight and the DC animated
Batman
stuff are the only good things that in this Cowboys level reign. It's the equivalent of like the Cowboys to their Papa John sponsorship. That's the only good thing.
It's the equivalent to the Cowboys drafting CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, genuinely.
But right now, what they're doing is letting. I don't even know. I'm not.
Like it's just
don't get into it yet.
No, because I'm gonna start saying some shit.
At a point to where DC needs that revitalization, and they're under a lot of pressure right now because definitely all eyes are on them.
James got it, bro. I trust James.
I trust him.
But if there's anybody I believe 1,000% to give like the weirdness and an actual overarching energy to the DCU of like hyper violence and gritty, but at the same time heartfelt and ensemble cast blending together with that Trover sleaze that I love, it's James Gunn.
Nice.
The man does not
Beautiful.
miss. I am a confident man that he does not miss. Name one bad James Gunn movie. I can. It's super. I don't really like it very much, but everything else is great.
Agreed. Yeah,
fantastic.
Super sucks.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
You know. And you talk about good filmmaking. You talk about very, very niche things, very niche events. Let's talk about another niche event.
Nice.
It's not too niche, but it's niche enough to where only one of us actually knows what's going on. Let's talk about the Telluride.
I'm a fucking nerd.
Telluride Film Festival.
Yeah,
happening in Telluride, Colorado.
Luis's cinema corner. It's just
everybody mute your mics and let Luis cook.
No, I'm not
gonna turn my ears off.
I might have something to say.
So just the Telluride Film Festival was this past weekend, and as well as the Venice Film Festival, and I just wanted to point out some movies that I think that I'm really excited for that are coming out that kind of debuted at this festival and at Venice, and that I think we'll probably cover, and I'll ask you guys if y'all want to watch them so we can talk about them. But the first one is Anora. This has been touted as probably a best picture nominee and probably a best actress nominee as well for Mikey Madison. She was in that Scream reboot sequel. She was the main killer with fucking Jack Quaid in that reboot. But Anora is a film by Sean Baker. Sean Baker, his films typically focus on like sex workers. He's made movies like Tangerine, The Florida Project, Red Rocket. Fantastic filmmaker, one of my favorite, and this movie is just a crowd pleaser. Everybody seems to love it. everywhere it goes, people are really touting this. So that's on my radar, and I think that should be on everybody's radar as well. Next movie is called Emilia Perez. It's basically a French musical comedy film by the filmmaker Jacques Audiard, and it's basically a trans coming of age movie. And it's got Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez, and what's her name, Carla Sofia Gascon, who's a trans actress. And this is like, I think, considering our current political climate, social political climate, I think this is a very big push. Netflix just recently acquired it, which I think speaks a lot about this movie, because Netflix really knows how to run a campaign. And I think the fact that they acquired this movie and are giving it an Oscar push or Oscars push, I think can mean a lot. And so Carla Sofia Gascon is getting touted as like a Best Actress nominee, and so that would be incredible to see a trans actress nominated for Best Actress. And I love musicals, and I love most of the people involved in this cast. I love Zoe Saldana.
Real.
I like Selena Gomez, so I'm here for it. The next one is a movie called The Nickel Boys, and it's basically a film set in 19. It's called The Nickel Boys, and it's just a movie based in 1962 in Tallahassee, Florida, and it's about.
That's even worse.
I know it's basically two boys who get sent to some nickels. No, they get falsely accused by cops and get sent to like a reformatory school, and it's them.
Jim Crow-coded.
And it's two black boys trying to survive the abuse and the corruption of a school. And it's by a first-time filmmaker who was a documentarian before. Ramel Ross. So that's very exciting as well. Daveed Diggs is in it.
Oh, hell yeah, I'm watching. I'll watch that.
Yeah, as well as Anjanou Ellis Taylor, who's amazing. And Hamish Linklater, who's the new Batman in that Batman the Great Crusader. Yeah. And he's in a great show called Midnight Mass.
I love Netflix, Midnight Mass. Oh my
god. He's the priest.
So good.
The priest, Hamish Linklater.
He's the priest?
Yeah. He's in this movie as well.
Wait. The one who looks like David Schwimmer. That guy.
Sure, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I didn't realize he was also
Yeah, he voices Batman in the Great Crusader.
Now.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Oh my god. I'm gonna be like those Mia Goth fangirls now, dude. I'm
Basically,
gonna be like
he's amazing. So this movie, I think, given its subject matter and just kind of given like who's involved and stuff, I'm very excited for this. And I think it'll be the next one. I think I'm a little iffy on, but people are saying that it's pretty good. It's called The Piano Lesson. It's directed. It's directed by Malcolm Washington. Can you guess who his father is?
If it's
Denzel Washington,
it is Denzel Washington.
I know that name. Malcolm Washington. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah,
bro. Yeah. I know that because when we were talking about how did I forget his name? John David. And I googled about how
mid.
Guess who's in this movie?
John David.
Yeah.
I googled him because I was like, didn't he play football in the NFL for like?
He did. He was a bench warmer in the NFL.
Yeah, he's in there for the Rams.
Yeah,
for the Rams. I was like, oh shit.
Did the player was he on the bench?
Yeah.
He was just like me and Madden.
There's a reason he's directing now.
Yeah. Well, no. John David is acting. Malcolm is directing. John David is the one who went pro. But this is based on an August Wilson play, and I love plays, and I love plays, movies that are based on plays. They can be a little.
The Whale. Fuck.
Yeah, they fuck so hard. It can be a little polarizing because people think they're boring and slow and don't like movies that take place in one place. Location, one location. Ray Fisher of DCU fame is getting a lot of praise for his for this movie. They're saying he's actually really good, and they're saying that Malcolm Washington, despite being a first-time filmmaker and despite being a fucking nepo baby, actually does a very good job. And Samuel Jackson is in this. Daniel Deadweiler.
It's a black-ass movie, bro.
It's an August Wilson play. He's a black playwright. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah,
Samuel Jackson, you say?
Mm-hmm. Daniel Deadweiler. She was in Till.
This is for all the nickels, bro.
Yeah,
don't say that.
What's good, my nickel?
He's allowed to say it.
and John David Washington is also in this. So, and Corey Hawkins, our boy Corey Hawkins, who we're a big fan of.
My goal
on this pad. So, and then I'll run through the next few. I'll skip that one. That one doesn't really matter. There's a movie called Conclave. Edward Berger directed it. He directed All Quiet on the Western Front. It's about picking a new priest. I'm Catholic. I gotta stay true to my roots. Stanley Tucci's in it. Ralph Fiennes.
The Tooch?
Yes, sir.
Tucci
John,
baby.
Oh, Ray
Tucci
Fiennes.
Mane.
Ray Fiennes. Tucci Mane. John Lithgow, Isabel Rossellini. It's whatever. Basically that tells you all you need to know.
Mm.
Then, I don't know if you guys like Saturday Night Live. There's a movie called Saturday Night coming out. It's based on the very first episode of Saturday Night Live and kind of like everything that went behind.
It looks kind of hard. I
agree.
SNL,
the trailer's really good. I agree. I don't like the filmmaker.
I think it looks
Jason
kind of hard to watch.
Well, I'm excited for it. I think the streets are saying it's really good, and streets are saying that Rachel Sennett is amazing in it, and I love Rachel Sennett. So
I thought you were gonna say naked. Continue.
The cast is pretty good. Gabriel LaBelle, who's in The Fabelmans, Rachel Sennett, Dylan O'Brien, who they say is pretty good in this. Cooper Hoffman, another nepo baby. He's
Dustin Hoffman.
Untalented.
Not Dustin Hoffman.
Which one?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Yeah. So, and it's got Willem Dafoe, and I fuck with him. So,
my goal
was that I promise. There's a movie called The End. It's got Tilda Swinton, Michael Shannon. It's got Moses Ingram. It's got George McKay.
I saw that one.
It's a musical.
I saw that one. Yeah.
It's a musical. It's a post-apocalyptic musical film.
Okay.
Here's the premise. A wealthy family lives in an underground bunker 2 decades after the end of the world, which they directly contributed to. I mean, I don't know. It could be bad.
And Swinton, and it's supposed
sounds
to
hard.
It could be terrible, but it sounds interesting. Yeah, it could be terrible, but it sounds really interesting. Then we got The Apprentice. It's that Donald Trump movie. Whatever.
Glorious King.
You know what I mean? Glorious King. And then here's the second to last one I'm really excited for. Queer. It's a Luca Guadagnino movie. Director of Bones and All, Challengers, Call Me By Your Name, Suspiria. It's got Daniel Craig.
Oh, yeah.
It's set in the 1940s in Mexico City after the character Lee, who flees a drug bust in New Orleans. He wanders the city's clubs and becomes infatuated with a drug user, a discharged American Navy serviceman. It's got like graphic sex scenes between Daniel Craig and an actor called Bruce Starsky. I just love Luca Guadagnino. I love his movies. I think he's one of the best filmmakers working.
So it's an HBO film.
No, it's not HBO film. He's just saying that because of the sex. And then the last one is
it's the only way.
I promise I'll shut the fuck up. The last one is called The Brutalist. It's a 3.5-hour movie.
History of
it's got an intermission. It's got Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce are the main leads. And it's basically an epic historical drama about immigrants and the American dream. Someone described it as this filmmaker remaking. Have you ever read The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand? It's basically Ayn Rand. Yeah, isn't she a Nazi? Wasn't she a Nazi?
Allegedly.
Fuck her. But it's basically, and so it's like very very artsy and very fucking pretentious and kind of like whatever, but
a Megalopolis situation.
No, but good. not dog shit. Yeah, not dog shit. So just a couple movies that I think should be on everybody's radar, and I suggest everybody check them out. And
what's that one, Luis? It was it's the Will Ferrell one. I believe that was also one of the.
Oh yes, I was actually gonna mention that too. Yeah, it's called Will and Harper. Yeah, documentary about how Will Ferrell's friend came out to him as a trans, and she came out to him, and it's basically a documentary about them
like on a road trip.
On a road trip across America, and then kind of her coming to terms. Will coming to terms with his new friends, with his friend's new identity, and how to cope and deal with that, and her learning to be herself and accept herself and love herself. And we just saw the trailer. I shared it in the group chat. It looks so beautiful. I know, it looks amazing. I'm super excited.
It's the whole time I've like mocked Luis at his little like silly hipster film festivals because I usually think they're filled with garbage and schlock. I want my chicken tenders of cinema. Hater. I want cartoons. My brain needs something palatable and low level and intelligence. But I got
called himself dumb.
I'm a little stupid. Won't lie. I'm a little silly guy. But when I saw this trailer in the group chat, I've seen a lot of documentaries that claim to have like heart and like really tug at your heartstrings, and they look or feel like Oscar bait. This had all the hallmarks of those types of things that I've seen before, but it wasn't trying to be that at all. It was, at the end of the day, getting across the strongest energy, the strongest aura that I was trying to project, which was, this is a story about two friends not only learning to accept each other's lives the way that they are, but also going into a newer journey and an analyzation of themselves and like societal issues around the trans community, everything. There's a litany of topics and different things that even in the trailer, I can tell this film won't necessarily answer, but it will touch on in a very respectful and endearing way.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't feel like pandery or like ham-fist or anything.
It feels genuine because
it feels genuine.
It's not told by an outside source. It's them.
Yeah,
and I think that's what you're touching on.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it's and what I really like about that trailer and what I'm really looking for about this film is that it does this thing that all good art does, which is it sparks conversation, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you watch something like this, and even if you don't understand it, and even if you don't really like even agree with it, it kind of humanizes, different perspectives, different ideologies, and different kind of human beings, and and that's always beautiful, and that's always great, and I think that's the way to move forward as a society, and especially in this country. And so I think it's super important. I think it looks beautiful, it looks awesome. So I don't know. Yeah, sorry, I'll stop boring you guys with all this fucking bullshit. But yeah, just I wanted to mention that because a lot of really good movies are coming out, and I really wanted to share that with you, and I think y'all should keep an eye out for them if you can.
Oh shit, I almost forgot. Matt, what was that thing in the group chat about the Batman? There was something about that, but I forgot what it was. That's where we save that.
Oh, basically, it's Matt Reeves talking about how it's going to be dealing with another Batman dealing with the corruption of the city that no one sees, and Court of Owl.
I think we'll save that one for next week, because that's going to be a very deep dive into our feelings back on the DC universe. Hopefully, we'll hear some more news on that prior to next week's episode. And it's probably going to happen. I mean, Matt Reeves has done something phenomenal with the Batman and that universe in itself. So we'll see how they pan forward, how they move forward with whatever news comes out, anything like that. We'll tap in with David and see what he says. If he has any news or any information about, the Matt Reeves and the Batman universe, and what greatness is to come from those folks over there. So, but speaking of greatness, this is another great episode here in the books. Huge shout out to everybody who tuned in today. We appreciate y'all keeping up with us, watching every episode, keep the excitement going by following us on all platforms at Cinestro Corp. That's Cinestro Corp, no S. I'm gonna put that in the ticker and in the episode description. Go ahead and like and subscribe so y'all never miss a beat from this podcast. Go and show us some love by leaving us a stellar 5-star review wherever you catch this podcast. Spread the word about our podcast and YouTube channel far and wide. Share it with your friends, your family, and your entire network. Your support means the absolute world to us. Go ahead and tap in with our boy AZ over there, Tari Singo on the YouTube, Tari Singo, twitch.tv, Tari Singo. That's the boy on the Twitch machine. And of course, David, he can't be here tonight, but follow the homies over there at Backstage as well. All your Hollywood news and information is right there. That's the number one source to get your insider info, your leaks, your backstories, and your awesome interviews outside of ours. But with that being said, it's been a pleasure, y'all. We'll see you next time on the Cinestro Core. Peace out, Girl Scout. Are we throwing up gang signs? Oh shoot.
We're the kings of the screen, yeah. Cinestro call.